With our theme, Burugkos Burunyog sa Pag-andurog sa Panahoning Pandemya, let us be refreshed with some key concepts on the role of disaster readiness and risk reduction amidst the pandemic. I have here some ready and cope principles to share with you. Again, today, we can do something in the midst of the pandemic. Usually, DRRR talks about the concept of disaster management in an individual to the community level. As part of the revitalized K-12 curriculum, it focuses on the application of scientific knowledge and the solution of practical problems in our physical environment. This year, our concept of disaster shifted from the hazards like earthquake hazards, hydrometeorological hazards like typhoons, or volcano hazards, to a global health hazard that led to a disaster at some point in some areas. Disaster is. There are many definitions of disaster, but Kani in pre-hospital and disaster medicine defined it as a situation resulting from a phenomenon or perhaps armed conflict that produce stress, personal injury, physical damage, and even economic disruption of great magnitude. And I think this pandemic is really pasok in this description. I know that some of you are still trying to get up in some areas, like physically, personally, some of us have been affected, and economically, a lot of disruptions are going on. Even our academic situation is still coping up with the situation. But let us not lose hope. Today, we're going to learn some basic. We can apply it in our individual, to our community, to our team. And I hope that you will learn something about disaster management. Well, in general, this disaster management has four cores or four phases: mitigation, preparedness, those are part of pre-disaster, then response. This is what we do during disaster. These are the interventions, the impact, or after the disaster or hazards or this phenomenon has reached our community. Then we proceed with recovery measures or rehabilitation measures. Here are some important goals of disaster management. First is strong organizational structure. It's important that during this time, we have to manage the tasks and different things that needs to be accomplished at this time, especially this pandemic. Is assessment of needs, identification of resources, planning of and of course, implementation of those plans. And important as well is the third one, keeping the damage or fatality minimum. Goals. Based on our theme, we need to work together, and individually, we can make a difference. We have roles and contributions to disaster management. You as a student, you have a key role. You as a millennial, a Gen Z, or part of the new generation, Gen X, you have important roles to prevent, to prepare, to respond, and to be a part of the recovery of our nation from this pandemic. And here's an acrostic ready on what you can do or contribute. On a personal level, you have to realize what is really important. This is the time that we must be ready by knowing what we should prioritize. We must know that need is different from wants. This pandemic has taught us to be mindful, like the air we breathe, keep it clean, the body that you have, keep it healthy. Value it just like when someone is preparing to survive. You need a survival kit. In a survival kit, you just bring the necessary or the most important. Consider now, what do you prioritize? What do you value? What is truly important? And hold on to it. Value it more now. Next is evaluate or reevaluate your lifestyle. Since this pandemic has evolved together with our lifestyle, it changes a lot of our day-to-day activities, from reporting to school to virtual meetings, from mall goers to plantitos and plantitas, and many other changes. Now, with these changes comes with evaluation of our lifestyle. We have to discover what are those things that we are doing, or what have we been doing in the past that needs to be changed now. Or let's say, as a student, are we still overspending on, let's say, milk tea or online shopping splurges? Or have we truly considered changing some of our spending habits? How do we spend our money, our parents' money, the allowances they give us? Most importantly, our time. Where do we spend our time? How and where we use our phone? How and where do we exhaust our energy? And where should we spend it now at the time of pandemic? Even on the things that we post on social media, because that's part of our lifestyle. So let's evaluate. Is there something that, it's just wasting your time, your energy? Now, evaluate your lifestyle for you to be ready for disasters and for the things that's coming up ahead of us. And this is an important word. We must create new lifestyles. Hideo Anno, president of Japan's Tokuhoku University, in his talk about being prepared in the pandemic, said that creating new lifestyle is important. And he uttered these three important words: be motivated to create new lifestyles and change those habits that could destroy us. Let us build back better. Perhaps we have failed or have faced challenges which tear us down, wounded us. Well, these three words, my friend: build back better. This is what we should aim right now as we evaluate our lifestyle. During my first talk here, I talked about the importance of a strong foundation, structural integrity. However, should someone have failed or got knocked down, let us build back better. The lessons and the principles that we have learned from natural disasters or hazards like earthquakes, typhoons, volcano eruptions, heavy rain, landslides, well, surprisingly, are apt for the COVID-19 situation and to counter future pandemics, and building back better is part of it. Next is letter A. Yes, but assist in other ways. It's important that we do not forget, yes, we do crowd control, which is part of being ready and being safe, but there's a more important A, and that is to assist. In a world where everyone wants to be served, be willing to serve. One of the most important resources that we will be needing is human resource. Volunteers will be needed to assist in a variety of tasks, both ones that require special skills and others that do not require special skills or expertise. In a, in a severe pandemic like this, there will be a role for anyone who is available to assist. Of course, it is important to know also what needs to be done. Coordinate with your leaders. Coordinate with your youth organization and school groups. The next is letter D. Develop good health habits. Develop safety plans. Now is the time for us to think also of how we spend our, our habits, the food that we eat. Are we just, sleeping late nights, spending it for playing online games, or perhaps late night chats? Or let's consider changing our study habits in order for us to get a good rest at night. And also, let us maintain being physically active, although we are doing a lot of virtual activities. Manage your stress by staying healthy. Learn healthy coping skills. Drink plenty of fluids and eat nutritious food. And also, you can develop your personal safety plans, like creating emergency contact lists. And also, you can, yes, you can see a lot of information on the World Wide Web, but there will be times when, let's say, power interruption and other stuff might happen. Then you must be prepared for backup plans. And lastly, still yearn to learn. Never stop learning new skills, life skills, academic skills, even if we are in the midst of the pandemic. That's part of your preparedness. Now, going on to the cope, these are some ideas wherein this will help reduce the impacts of disaster to you as an individual and to your community as well. Let's notice your key role and contributions in capacity building. So in every crisis, there is, a different approach. There are also different things that might happen. And according to one survey, during the